Hello, welcome back. I am Christina Carpenter, your host and coach, and we will be talking today about what was your most royal failure in life. Okay, so I had to think, okay, what should I share? What could be the most interesting story I can give about my royal failure? Um, let's see. Okay, so I decided to think because there's different failures I've had. But one of them I'll say is one where I assumed the wrong thing about someone and I was wrong. And I didn't know that until later on. But so here's the thing. I assumed about a young lady that she was okay, let's go back. This is in high school. Was it high school? I think it was high school. Yeah, I think it was high school. Um or junior high, one of them. But anyway, I was in junior high or high school, and I I assumed that this person needed encouragement, and I felt sorry for her, and in my pitying her, I thought that I would give her this book, a book about being more confident. So she didn't ask me for it, but I thought, oh, I would be helping her if I gave her this book, right? And so I forget the title of it, but it was something about like being confident or whatever. And she was more like the nerdy girl in my school, and um, I assumed she was not happy with herself, but I was wrong because she actually was more confident than I thought. And she was actually surrounded by a family of people that really loved her, and she didn't have an issue with her self-esteem at all, but I thought she did. I thought she was I thought she was like just this person that was like a nerd and just like not pretty or whatever, and just like maybe she needed a boost of confidence. So I was like, oh, let me help her out and give her this great book I found that I bought at a store. So I gave it to her, and then she gave it back to me and was like, why are you giving me this? I don't need this. And I was like, well, I thought you might. And she said, no, I don't need this. And I was like, okay. And I just took it back, and I felt kind of hurt because I was like, I thought I was doing a good thing. But she just gave it back to me and was like, I don't need this book. I'm sorry to disappoint you, And I was like, okay. And then later on, like throughout the year, as I seen her, I realized she was very fashion forward, and she had very nice looking clothes. But I just thought, based on my assumption, that she wasn't, confident, but she really was. And I was wrong. And later when I see her, like I see she holds her head up high, and even if she doesn't look like everyone else, she it doesn't mean she's not confident. It doesn't mean that she doesn't feel good about herself. And me and myself thinking, judging her, I was wrong to judge her. And that's what happened. But I learned a lesson that day. Don't judge a book by its cover. And I'm learning to not judge. And it's ironic because the same thing happened to me. People judged me and said, well, you must be sad because of this and that X, Y, and Z, because in their opinion, I wasn't loud enough, vocal enough. So I must have an issue. There must be something wrong with me. So people would assume. And one time in a class project we did, the teacher told everyone to write uh what you think about a person in the classroom, and what do you think is their story. And people wrote random stories of what they thought about a person, right? And then he told them all to put all these little things into a bowl, and then he would pick one out and read it, and then he'd ask the class, who do you think this is about? And then one of the papers that the people picked out, one of the papers that was picked out was saying, "Oh, I think this person is depressed. I think they're really sad, and I think they're really lonely." And everyone pointed and said, "Oh, it looks like her." And everyone pointed at me, and I was like, "What?" And I felt really hurt because I was like, in my mind, I didn't feel that way, but to be seen in that way was very sad to realize that that's how people saw me. So just to say, you can't really assume about people, and I didn't realize that people thought that. But just to reframe the situation, don't assume things about people because you just don't know. Because some people can look really happy and they could be struggling, and some people could look sad, but they're not sad. They probably have a really nice home environment or whatever the case may be. So you just don't know. And I like this quote by John Maxwell. There's a huge difference between saying I have failed and I am a failure. If you're in the habit of assassinating your own character every time something goes wrong, just stop it. Making mistakes is like breathing. It's something you'll do as long as you're alive. Learn to live with it and move on. And that's one of John Maxwell's quotes about failure. And so, how do we work through failure? So, one of the ways we work through failure is to aim for excellence through growth, learning, and becoming better. And then reframing our thoughts. What else can I improve on? Don't dwell on the failure. Look at ways that you can work on things that you can improve and work on those things. Look for resources, take actions, and make an effort to control what you can control and forget about what you cannot control. Look at your failure as an opportunity for growth and don't fear the failure because you can be resilient and you can move on from it. And don't let your failure define you as a person and make it like, oh, that's who I am, because it's not who you are. And so that's all I'm going to leave you with. And just remember, your failures are just mistakes, and we all make mistakes, and it's okay. You can move on from it, you can grow from it, and you can become a better person for it. And that's all I'll be sharing with you today. Have a great one, and I will talk to you on